Our global pandemic needs a vaccine, and it needs it yesterday. And so industry has been working tirelessly 24/7 to develop a vaccine. But the question on everybody's mind is it safe? So let's talk about the first of these objections of vaccines not being safe. This whole thing started about 2 decades ago when scientists in Europe completely manufactured false data to show that vaccines were not safe. It's been proven multiple times over. They've lost their doctor degrees, they've been sanctioned, they've had criminal proceedings against them, and we know, because we track vaccines after they've been released, that the data that they made up was completely made up. Unfortunately, a lot of people like to use conspiracy theories instead of looking at the facts. The facts are vaccines that we have today are enormously safe. Now, yes, a very, very, very small percentage of people who take a vaccine could have an allergic reaction or could have pain in the injection site or any of these things. But they're very small. And the number of people that the vaccines help, they're enormous. In fact, vaccines have saved more lives than all other medical interventions combined. It's amazing. It's an amazing statistic. So the first objection that vaccines aren't safe, well, they're not true. Unfortunately, the people who are the anti-vaxxers, they'll never look at the data, they'll never look at the science, because they'd rather create fear in people instead of looking at the truth. Number one, vaccines historically have been very, very safe. Number two, what about the political environment that we're in right now and the rush job that has happened for COVID vaccine? Well, it's true. We're in a really contentious political environment. And it is also true that we're in a rush to get a vaccine to the whole world so that we can go back to life as normal. But even in the midst of both of those things, science is science. And your doctors have been working tirelessly to make sure that it is safe. They're still going through all of the processes, the phase 1, phase 2, the phase 3, and hopefully phase 4 very, very soon with the FDA to get approval. Now, each one of these phases is designed in a stepwise manner to make sure things are safe. They're tested on a very small group of people first to see if they have the right dose and if it's safe. Then they go to a bigger group of people. Then they go to an even bigger group of people and they determine how effective the vaccine is. We're coming to the end of those trials and they will be continuing for years to go so that we can have better and better versions of it. It looks like the versions that we have of it now are over 90% effective. That means that if you get COVID, your body takes care of it before you even really know anything's happening. It's a non-event. You don't go to the hospital. You are not severely sick. You just go on with life as normal. Now, these vaccines are still going to have the normal problems that most vaccines have. In other words, you're going to get an injection. That hurts a little bit. We all know what injections feel like. You might get a little bit of a sore arm. Some people might feel a little run down for a day or two. All of these things. But the side effects from these vaccines are going to be minuscule compared to what could happen if you have COVID or if you get COVID and are hospitalized. Even after all vaccines are put out, there's a vaccine adverse event reporting system so that if there are any adverse events, any problems from the vaccine, we're going to track those over time so that we can see if they're associated with the vaccine or not associated with the vaccine. And that's going to happen with the COVID vaccine as well. So we are still following all of the procedures that are necessary to get you the vaccine. Now, I'm not personally involved in any of these trials, but I have been a principal investigator in other pharmaceutical trials to bring drugs to market. So I'm intimately familiar with all of this. And I will tell you, it is an amazingly complicated and detail-oriented process. And I promise you that all of the vaccine companies trying to make a COVID vaccine are following all of them. So basically, this COVID vaccine is going through the exact same process that's been honed and developed for decades. It's going to be safe. Now, yes, the really cool thing about this vaccine is that the whole world is behind it. The top minds of Every scientist who's in this arena in every country is racing to help you. It is a pivotal point in American history where borders don't matter and cultural divides don't matter. Everybody is laser focused on this, which means this is going to be the most safe and the most effective vaccine we've ever had. I would invite you to ask yourself, do you want to trust science? Science that is continually testing each and every assumption and theory, that's continually tracking it, that has a track record of saving more lives than every other medical intervention combined? Or do you want to just kind of shrug your shoulders and be based in fear, conspiracy theories that can't be supported or proven? Think about it a different way. If you don't believe all that science that's taken decades to hone down and all of that success that has saved tens of thousands, millions of lives over the years, then think about it from the drug company's perspective. Do you think they're going to try to rush something through and have it not be safe and injure a bunch of people only so that they can have a class action lawsuit and lose the entire company and go to jail? That's not going to happen. Think about it from a political standpoint. If you say, well, the Republicans were in office and they're going to ram it through. Well, Republicans are in office and Democrats will be in office. And I'm pretty sure those two sides, they don't like each other very much. And I'm pretty sure the news media that is out there that represents both of these sides don't like each other very much. And if something was trying to be rammed through, one would certainly call out the other. I doubt this would be the only thing they say, oh, they did something wrong, but we'll let this slide. It's not going to happen. Last thing I'm going to say is, please don't make this political. This is not political. Science is science. It is a process that we go through, that we've done for millennia and refined. It has nothing to do with the left or the right. And the science, quite simply, states vaccines will work, social distancing will work, masks work. If you're sitting there and you're saying, no, none of that's true, look it up. You don't have a leg to stand on. Please stop making this about politics. I'm fed up with politicians. I'm fed up with people hunkering down and saying, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat. No, you are an American. And Americans are intelligent, and we are resilient, and we believe in science. I'd invite you to go back to your roots of what an American is. Now, all of these vaccines are over 90% effective. That's awesome. And they're ridiculously safe. That's even better. But none of that matters if you and I do not get vaccinated. We need over 80% of our population to be vaccinated in order for us to put a handle on COVID and go back to life as normal. Now, I want you to consider what your responsibility is to that. Not, are you healthy and are you going to get COVID and be sick? What is your responsibility for your loved ones? Are you going to protect them by getting a little shot? Choice is yours. And it literally could be life or death for somebody you love. To learn more common sense solutions, to learn how you can personally get involved, and to be the change you wish to see in the world, subscribe to this channel, and we'll let you know when new videos are out. Please also check out the book I wrote, Universal Death Care, a solution for healthcare in the age of entitlement.